Hello, welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda, and I am back today. Sorry, I'm rearranging things. I had to restart this video. I'm back again with a 5 on Friday, and I haven't done one of these in a couple weeks because for my own trying to keep up with things, I basically decided to only do 5 on Friday videos on the weeks that I don't do a Wednesday video. And I've done Wednesday videos for the last couple weeks, so this week we're back with a 5 on Friday. So if you don't know what 5 on Friday is, it's, sorry, I have to reset that. It's something started by Suey at Suey's Book Banner, and she's taking a break, but she says she'll be back, where each Friday we come up with a themed list of 5 books to share with you. We don't coordinate our topics, so we could have completely different books, we could have somewhat similar books, what do you think? Now, when she does her video, it's clear that she puts a lot of care and time into making her video look nice, and has graphics and music and all this. It's wonderful. I set my Apple Watch timer for 5 minutes, and I just start talking and seeing if I can get through it in 5 minutes. So let's see if we can do it. And go. So this topic came to me a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was last weekend. I think it was last weekend, actually. We went up to a lake about 2 hours from here for like a little lake house party. And it reminded me how much I like lakes and water just in general. And someone's making noise in the other room, sorry. And so I thought, what are some books that kind of center around bodies of water? Not necessarily all lakes. I have lakes and oceans and rivers here. So we have lakes, oceans, and rivers. I have a little selection here. So I went to my keeper shelf to pull whatever books I have. So these are just physical books that I have. Probably would have been easier if I'd looked at my digital collection, but this means less editing. So here we go. So we're gonna start with the Queen of Crime, Agatha Christie, and Death on the Nile. So this is her classic novel about a murder that happens, well, actually several murders that happen on a riverboat cruise up and down the Nile. And this is one of those books by Agatha Christie where she really gets into the setting and the environment, and so you really feel like you're on the Nile. And it's a very unique setting, and she brings that to life. There are a couple movie versions of this. The only one I've seen is the Kenneth Branagh version, which for other reasons I didn't especially like, but I think they did really well working with the element of the river in that movie. But book is still much better. Highly recommend this. Then this was actually one of the first Agatha Christie books I've read, and it's not a bad place to start if you've never read Agatha Christie. Try her short stories first, though. The next one I have is a gut punch of a book. I'm going to warn you right now. This is a book that's going to leave you kind of shooketh. And this is What Strange Paradise by Omar ElAad. So this is a story about a young Syrian refugee boy. And this boat, I don't want to say ship because it's barely even a boat, that he is fleeing on sinks. And he is the only person who washes up on the beach of an island. So we kind of have two things going on there. You have him trying to survive on this island and get to where he needs to go. But you also have a lot of scenes of him on the boat with how he got on the boat and everything that's going on with that. This is a truly heartbreaking book, but I also think it's a really, really important book to read. I would just say, be prepared. Be emotionally prepared for this book, but I do highly recommend it. So the next book is the one that sort of first came to my mind because I grew up spending at least a week every summer in Minnesota at a lake cabin. My mom's family had a lake cabin, and then my brother built a lake cabin. It's an estate, basically. Anyway, so I love Minnesota lake country, and I have such wonderful memories of it, and this is that. Saturday Night at the Lakeside Supper Club by J. Ryan Straddle. This is his most recent book. So in Minnesota, they have these things called supper clubs. They're usually seasonal. They're on a lake. Sometimes it's like you bring your own wine. They do fish fries. It's a whole thing. It's a Minnesota thing. And this really leans into that, but you also really feel like you're on the lake there and in lake country. Really, and you know, it's such a unique kind of experience, and Straddle really brings it to life. So this is your only lake book. Okay, Then, okay, I got a minute and 24 seconds. Now, the next two are pretty obvious. I honestly tried not to do these two books, and then I just couldn't not do them. So the first one is James by Percival Everett. This is a retelling of Huckleberry Finn, told from Jim's point of view. So it's James. And if you are even the least bit familiar with Huckleberry Finn, even if you just heard the name, you know it takes place on the Mississippi River. So we have a lot of floating down rafts, Mississippi River kind of things. And the river is a very important part of the story. And Everett maintains that in this book. So also I liked it better than Huck Finn. And then we're going to stay on a lake, and we're also going to stay in the Huck Finn sort of mindset, because this book was originally meant to be a retelling of Huckleberry Finn, and then just sort of came like a book with Huck Finn-like elements. And you also know that I cannot do a 5 on Friday without a William Kent Kruger book, and this has kind of been William Kent Kruger week on my channel. But this Tenderland was the second of his standalones, which I'm counting the 3 as the standalones. And this takes place on the Minnesota River, I believe. But he started writing it as, you know, he started with the idea of doing a Huck Finn retelling and then just kind of went away from there. But this is like young boys mostly. There is a girl in the story sailing down the river. Again, river is super, super important in this story. So very and beautiful scenery. William Kent Kruger can bring to life a landscape like few others. So, done. There you go. That was my 5 on Friday. So I don't know if next week is a Wednesday week or a Friday week. So I might be back next week with another 5 on Friday, or I might not. We'll see. Anyway, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.